So my official farewell to Forza Horizon 5, I've honestly been thinking about this for a little bit, and I figured, you know what, with FH6 literally launching later this week, I did want to talk about this a little bit, guys, because look, I am probably going to get ripped apart in some of these comments with this, but I'm going to be real and say this right off the bat. Despite FH5's, issues, which the main part I would say is the map, let's be honest there, some of the car sounds are kind of off, which they obviously did address that in the next game, but I gotta admit, despite a lot of the flaws and different things in Forza Horizon 5, I genuinely had a great time playing this game, even though I was, 3.5 years later, because I played it on PS5, so, yeah, I didn't play it on launch or any of that stuff, but I did end up getting the Premium Edition. I played through all the DLCs and everything. I played everything in the game, basically, and I genuinely had a great time in it. Now, is there some things I would probably change? Of course, but I'm going to be real right now and say this as well. Off-roading in FH5, dude, and you know what, you could probably say this for every Forza, it probably has the best off-roading out of any open-world modern racing game, okay? I said it, it is fantastic in Forza. In Forza Horizon 5, I don't even know how much time I've off-road drove in this game. It's probably been over 100-something plus hours at this point, where I will go pick a road, drive around in like the big Mercedes AMG truck, do some races in it, and then go explore some of the other roads, or just simply go as fast as I can and race around on the dirt roads. I don't know, I just had a great time doing it. Now, does that make the map better? Obviously not. But for me, though, it did make it pretty dang fun. I like how it was laid out, at least because I'm an off-roading head, so that's probably why. But I also do understand why people probably wanted better roads, because I was driving cars around, doing races for a little bit, and I can really understand why people probably wanted a more elevation type of map, or, elevation changes, which again, all of this is addressed in the next game, because everybody's biggest complaint in 5, at least from what I have seen, is easily with the map. Now, as I did say before though, despite a lot of that stuff being said, I still genuinely had a great time playing Forza Horizon 5. And I mean, I'm racing around in like the 911 GT3 or even the RS or something and doing some of these events, moving over to a cross-country race in the rain or something like that, using a real trophy truck. Because that was one of the biggest things that's always interested me about Forza. You know what I'm saying? Something I've always loved about it. That's why I got super excited when I heard this game was coming to PlayStation, was because this game simply has cars and trucks and pretty much everything that no other game will probably never have or even get close to, which I feel like is probably one of the biggest reasons why people love Forza as well, is the cars you can drive in it, but a full-on trophy truck, man. When I saw footage of this, I'm like, there is no way I can actually drive that in the game. And surely enough, there's legit like short course race trucks in this game, full on trophy trucks. You got like buggy Jeep builds, and you can also build a pickup truck into being a like a pre-runner type of build with off-road tires on it. You can off-road build a Bugatti or other vehicles. Like, the build potential is so dang dope, but you also have that huge variety of vehicles just mixed in there, and it really can get you lost for hours despite some of the flaws in the game. And that was something I was finding. I got on the game like, alright, well, let's see what I can do today. And it was like 7 or 8 hours I was playing the game, just driving different cars, doing different races. Once I did end up finishing a bunch of cross-country races, I'm like, you know what? Let me go back into the Rally DLC and do some races in there. And I was having a great time doing some Rally off-road races, because other games can't seem to have off-road events very well, or barely any of them for that matter, and that's an entire DLC that I had a great time with, progressing through it, getting better cars, and doing the entire rally slash race versions of the events as well, and just jumping in there and doing them. And there's a lot of the events in there and different other off-road vehicles to unlock, like rally cars and also trophy trucks. And what was making me laugh, though, is I would go into the Rally Adventure update and do some of the races, then go back to Mexico and do more off-road events in there with, like, storms or different weather types and all that, going over jumps, riding down, like, a mountain, doing different types of off-road races there. Then I was like, you know what, okay, well, that was fun. I had a good time off-roading, but you know what I want to do now? I want to go on the Hot Wheels track and mess around there. And I would go there and spend hours just racing around on the crazy loops, as I feel like the Hot Wheels DLC, okay, I know it's not as good as the old Forzas. I never got to play those, but from what I have heard, it wasn't as good. But you know what? Despite the flaws, I had a great time in that, and I really had a fun time just doing some of the off-road events, but also driving different, like, hypercars and faster cars on the loops, doing those races as well there. It was just so entertaining that I was done with that. I was like, you know what? Let me go back to Mexico again and do some road racing there. I would do some of the roads with like more turns in like the GT3, and just feeling the car's grip around the corners. Now I know people will probably make fun of me with some of this stuff, but you know what? Probably one of the biggest reasons why I love Forza and also other people love it is the cars you can drive, the way they feel, and those will be updated in FH6, which is insane. But I have a really fun time just putting like a tune on the vehicle and just going around turns and feeling that car grip, you know, accelerating out of the turn, but feeling like the tires grip around it. I don't know. I'm a weird person. Well, let's put that out there. But I also feel like a lot of other players might do the same thing. You might want to jump on like a Hyundai Veloster or a Toyota Camry or some of the other slow cars or some of the other types of vehicles. Put different builds on those and see what you could push with a B or an A or all that stuff. And I just, it is a good experience overall, I feel like, for most. Now, again, is it perfect? Of course not. It is not perfect, bro. Then again, what game actually is nowadays? Am I right? Every game has its flaws somewhere. And I kind of had that in my mind. I'm like, well, you know what? I played Need for Speed Unbound, I played Motorfest. Both games are covered in flaws and issues, and I know Forza will probably have its own. But you know what? I'm going to jump in this and have fun on it anyway, and just going through the races, doing like the playlist and getting the backstage passes, doing the different event lab things, which is a whole other thing that I love. Now, we all do know every Forza has something new to it that the previous one didn't have. For example, in 5, we have the full-on event lab thing, which is probably one of my favorite things ever, dude. Some of the races you can make in this and things people actually create, bro, it completely blows my mind what people create. I can't wait to see what people make in FH6, especially with things being updated with the event labs in that game. Seeing the tracks people make, seeing the crazy off-road courses people make, dude, it completely blows my mind. It's so dang fun. There's unlimited amount of content there and just hours of fun gameplay that you could do with just the event labs. I completely loved it. And then that also kind of brought me into the other thing with 5 is we all do know in 6 we have the garages, right? In 5 I did like the idea of the garages being spread out, but I was also like, man, it'd be really cool to have a garage as we don't really have those in most racing games now. They kind of got rid of the garage, or you just don't simply have one to where you could view some of your cars or have a cooler atmosphere with that instead of having like a dope, you know, $10 million castle or something. It's cool, but can you do anything with it? Can you go look at your cars in the garage? And now it seems like that's also a new feature going over to FH6. And I do love seeing like every game evolve in some way. And after playing every single Forza, that is something I really did notice, dude. Is every game evolved somewhere and added something dope to it, at least in my opinion anyway. And that seems to be no different with FH6. And when I was playing through 5 and doing some races and all that, I'm like, man, these races really are pretty fun. Now, are they absolutely perfect? Well, no, because if you look at something like the map, for example, some of the races can be flatter. There's not much going on. Some of them might have some turns. Yes, I would actually prefer some elevation changes with some turns and going up mountains or, you know, having different types of hills and valleys and different things that you can, like, drive around or go through or, you know, go through, like, a super dense forest and different things. I also really enjoy that, and I can definitely see how people might not really like it that much in FH5, but despite all of that, I still, you know, with me being an off-road head, I feel like most people would have a great time in 5 if you were off-roading. But if you're looking to drive cars around, I could definitely see the flaws there. Which, again, luckily, FH6 will be fixing that very soon, for that matter. But y'all know what, though? I could probably keep yapping about this, which I'm not going to do, so I am interested, even though Forza Horizon 5 has its flaws, what are some of your favorite things that you enjoyed about the game? Do let me know in the comments below. Again, like a farewell type of thing, obviously 6 is around the corner, and a lot of players, including myself, will most likely not be playing FH5 anymore because we'll be on 6. I mean, heck, a lot of people might even delete 5 now because 6 is out. So do let me know, what are some of your favorite, like, farewell moments or things you liked about 5 despite the flaws that were in the game? I feel like a lot of people, for the most part, still enjoyed it. But it's definitely hard to look past some of those things, which I gotta say, I'm super excited that a lot of it is fixed in FH6.